guys, welcome back to video 2 of the Recruitment Academy. Hopefully you watched the first video and weren't put off, and we spurred you on to find out the first thing about the recruitment process and how to make yours kick ass, especially over your competitors, so you can find the very best talent and steal them away before they get a chance to interview them. So today's video is all about job descriptions and adverts. So there is a difference between them. I hope you know that, but I think, well, my experience in the past with some people is that they think they put their job description onto job boards such as Indeed or CVLibrary or Read, etc. And that suffices as an advert. And I suppose it's probably not terrible. It's better than not putting an advert on, and it's better than some adverts that are literally 2 lines. I'd be really surprised if people applied to adverts such as those, but you can tell when people don't necessarily know what to do or don't have time, and then the vibe that comes across when you read those adverts is that they can't be bothered, and you're probably going to get less candidates wanting to apply for those vacancies, because if they feel like you can't bother with an advert when you're trying to find someone, what you're going to be like when they've actually joined and they're working from you, it would potentially get worse, which is not necessarily the case, especially for you guys, because you've invested in improving your recruitment process. So let's convey that, let's get that out there into the candidate world so they can see how much you care. So your job description should be a longer document. I'm doing this like I've got one in front of me. You just imagine I do. So at the top you need your job title. I would put your salary on the job spec, put the location of the vacancy, obviously where it's based, if it's hybrid, put on that it is hybrid, or if it's working from home, put that it can be. If it can be anywhere in the UK, for example, put that. If it needs to be within a certain geographical area, then make sure you add that in as well. And then at the top, I would put a really warm, engaging intro about your company. Don't just pick it out of some marketing literature that your marketing department have put together for customers, especially if you're a really corporate organisation. You don't want to, if the information that you market to customers is quite serious, quite corporate, please don't just lift that and put it into your job description, because you need to convey a different kind of message to candidates. And I suppose you need to decide what is the vibe of your company, your culture, your environment, your ethos. What kind of people do well, and then you need to write as if you're talking to those people. So put your company intro at the top, just a paragraph. It doesn't have to be, and it shouldn't be, War and Peace. And then you need to go into kind of the key responsibilities of the job. And you can go to town here. The more detailed, the better, because it makes it easier to create an advert, because you're condensing what you've got rather than having to go the other way and try and create something out of nothing. So have your role and responsibilities and explain exactly what that person's going to be doing, and same for key skills and experience. If there's a load of information that you love them to have but it's not essential, put that in a separate section. I suppose you could call it non-mandatory experience or desired skills and experience, or anything that's an added bonus. And that's kind of it, I think, in terms of your job description. Put on any benefits, that's a really good one to put on, because your benefits and your perks are really important. They will show what kind of company you are. So benefits are your more standard ones, so medical, insurance, what else, pension, holidays, things like that. They're your more formal benefits. But if you've got a really good holiday scheme, put that in here. If they get a day off for the birthday or Christmas shutdown, get that in there. I've seen different ones, so ice cream when it's hot, or pizza on a Friday, early finishes, bonus incentives. I had a conversation with someone recently who was going to offer for their team to have a car valet every month, and I get the house cleaned once a month, which I thought was amazing. And it just goes to show what kind of employer they might be, because they're going a bit further with the benefits and their perks. And it shows, I suppose, their quirks and their nuances. So get everything onto a job description: what you want them to do, who you want them to be, where you want them to have come from, all the benefits and all the things you can offer them. Because it is a marketing document, you want people to be interested in the job and apply. So that's a job description. Again, make sure you section out the different areas. So have a clear heading, make it bold, maybe underline it, make it a bigger text. Use bullet points and have spaces in between the sections so it looks easy on the eye, and it's not just a Word document of size 8 times New Roman with no spaces and bullet points, because no one will want to read it. So make it easy to read, maybe size 10 or 11 font. And I know you think that might not be important, but it makes a massive difference if they're reviewing other job descriptions at the same time. And make sure you put your personality in there. So if you're a quirky, chilled organisation, a bit edgy, a bit funky, make sure you speak like that in the words that you use, your language, the tone of voice, the personality. If you're really, really corporate and really professional and you want that in other people, make sure you talk like that. So now we move on to your adverts. So we've got this amazing, fantastically detailed job description saying everything you possibly could about the vacancy. Now we need to condense it into an advert, which is sometimes trickier than it sounds. And the reason for this is because the job boards prefer certain things. So if you think of SEO on Google, how you utilize the use of keywords on your website, on anything that links to your website, so that when people Google those keywords, the idea is that your site will come up on page 1 ideally. Well, we do the same on your adverts. So adding keywords. So if it's a sales executive position, you want the key term sales executive to be in there a good number of times, definitely more than like 2 or 3. So make sure you really add that in. So obviously the job title, and then in the first line of the advert, make sure you're mentioning the job title of the vacancy. And then it's the intro bit on an advert almost needs to be snappier, probably not quite as informal as you might put it on social media, but just a line with a question, like invite them in. You don't want your adverts to be like a lot of them that are out there at the moment that are posted by recruitment agencies. Many of them start with my client, a leader in, blah, blah, blah. And they're all written the same way. None of them really pop out. So I tend to go in with, are you a motivated and passionate sales manager? Because if they are, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I am. And they're going to read the rest of your advert. Invite them in with a bit of a hook. And then just keep them to like separate lines. I would say maybe 3 or 4. Just put, we're seeking for super organised sales manager to join this amazing team. In return, you'll get X, Y, Z, A, B, and C. The company's doing amazing things. And just a little bit of a hook so they want to read a bit more about the job itself. And then you need to have the role and responsibilities bit that you put in your job description. Have the same here, put your job title in, so the role and responsibilities of the sales manager are, and then bullet point them, but have no more than 6, which may be difficult depending on how much detail you added into your job description. You've got to condense it to 6 and try and make them snappier and shorter. And the reason for that is because many people are looking for their jobs on a mobile device these days. So obviously it's a smaller screen, so the more text you have, the longer it is, and they have to keep scrolling. And we have no patience online these days, apparently. So make it easier for them, make it easier for yourself, and make it as concise as possible. Make it snappy, make it interesting, make people want to read and want to scroll down to see the key skills and experience to see if they are eligible to apply for that vacancy. So that leads me nicely on to the next section. Again, condense your experience section from your job spec into 6 bullet points, and again make it funny, make it inviting, add your personality in, make sure you use the job title where you can, and then at the bottom put in your benefits. Again, bullet point them. You want it to be as clean and concise and engaging as possible, and with a clear call to action at the bottom. So to apply, if you're interested in this amazing sales manager position, click apply and send your CV today. So tell them how to get involved, so that you hook them in at the top, you ask them some questions, they answer yes, they read the responsibilities, they think, yes, this job sounds amazing. How do I make sure I'm a good fit? Then they scroll down to the next section, and then underneath that you've got to apply, do this. So hopefully they will listen and pay attention and do that. So that's how to structure the advert, and it's just to remember again to put your personality in there. If you were a candidate and you were searching for this job, how would you want to be spoken to? You've got to put yourself in the shoes of the people looking for work. It's not about you. It's very, very little about you in the recruitment process. It isn't about what you think about your business. It's not about your business and what it does. It's not about how you view this job and what you want to get out of it. It is all about the candidate. What do they want? What do they care about? What is in it for them? Because ultimately, that is the only reason they're looking for a job, because they want to move careers, they want to earn more money, they want better benefits. It's all about what they want, so give it to them. And if it's not right for them and it's not in your advert, they won't apply, but you don't want those people. So make sure you're really talking to who you want to apply to this advert. Get them involved, get them applying, so you can get them into your fantastically wonderful recruitment process. Remember, it's the first touch point you have with a candidate. So on the first video, I mentioned that recruitment is a sales and marketing piece. And so this is the first touch point. It's the first time you've tried to sell to them. It's the first marketing they've seen. It's the first window into your business. So make sure you make the best first impression and it's as impactful as possible. You need to get their attention. You have to stand out. The candidate marketplace is mental at the moment. There's loads and loads of jobs and adverts, and there's not as many people applying to them. So in order for them to see yours and want to apply to yours over and above somebody else's, or as well as, you need to grab their attention. So that is it from me, I think, on this video. Let me just check my notes. Yes. So you'll be getting an email from us with your actions and your follow-ups, your homework, I suppose, for you to do before you move on to video 3. Thank you very much.